What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about anything and everything. It's going to be the most real, raw, uncut video. We'll even be talking about why I wear this uniform, why I'll continue to wear this uniform, and why I'm not wearing it today. Well, I'm not wearing it today just because I want you guys to have the real Garrett, not the Instagram, YouTube persona Garrett. This is going to be the most real, raw, uncut video I've ever produced, or lack thereof, because I'm going to remove this SD card and implant it right into my computer and up to the Ethernet to see. I think this video is going to give a good insight of where I am in the creating content space and why I am down the avenue and paths that I've chosen, and where I think we'll continue to see the state of pilot influencing. Yeah, I think that'll be the title of the video, pilot influencing. Yeah, we'll go with that. And kind of just talk about why I do what I do and why other creators do what they do, or at least my perception of it. So I think this video is going to have the best of both worlds when it comes to the lovers, the supporters of the channel and the content, and then also the, I don't want to say haters, because yeah, I just don't think that's a good word, but I think the people that kind of maybe despise me or the content or pilot influencers, because there's definitely tons of people in this industry, which I hear you loud and clear, and you guys have a great opinion on it. There's a lot of respect behind it, and I understand it, but we're going to talk about that. But let's dive right into it. I have been creating content now since 2016, and I've made tons of errors in creating content. And I'll continue to make errors. When you expose yourself and you put yourself out there, not everything gets, I guess, kind of caught in the filters of what you think is good and what is not good. But I think there's a fine line between satisfying everyone and satisfying the people that you are looking to help. I think pilot influencing, or influencers in general, are an overall good thing, and I see the pros, and I especially see the cons. But I think the state of like pilot influencing is overall a really good thing, because I think there's a lot of people out there that don't have the guidance that maybe I was extremely fortunate enough to have growing up. I didn't even know I wanted to be an airline pilot until I was 18 years old. I was a freshman in college studying business management, and I got cut off my dad's payroll at 18. Great. I'm super lucky for that, because I genuinely would not be an airline pilot if my dad wouldn't have cut me off financially. So fortunate enough that he provided the amazing life that he provided for me growing up. But at 18, it was like, hey man, you want to go out, have fun, you got to get a job. So that was great. I was at East Carolina University at the time. I got a job at the airport, Pitt Greenville, being a line boy. I was fueling airplanes, washing them, polishing. I was working for a flight school and like kind of a maintenance department. It was really cool. So every weekend I was working there, and I was dispatching airplanes for this really small flight school. And I was like, wow, I think I want to do this for a living. This is pretty cool. At least give it a shot. And like I said, I come from a long line of pilots. I'm a fourth generation pilot, which I never even understood how amazing that was until I got into aviation. So I called up my dad and said, hey, I think I want to like pursue this flying thing, or at least give it a shot. He said, okay, you want to get into it by doing a discovery flight, and if you like it, then we're going to figure out maybe the certain pathways. So I had that guidance. I had my grandfather, my uncle, my dad, all these people that are pilots that I could look up to. And social media was, Instagram came around in like 2012 or whatever, but it was really picture oriented. There was really no like influencers per se. So I had that guidance from the get-go of being an airline pilot. And I realized in 2016, when I was a flight instructor, when I really had just started out, this gentleman came up to me, this kid, he was like younger than me. I think I was 21 at the time. And he said, hey man, I had narrowed it down to 3 things that I thought I wanted to pursue as a career. And pilot was one of the 3. But I had no one to talk to about what you had to do to be a pilot, or what it was like to be a pilot, or what even flight, do you just become an airline pilot? And I guess he had discovered my content, and I was kind of the tipping point for him to pursue the career. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then a couple months later, someone else comes up to me, and then it started to like snowball as my audience grew. And at that point, maybe like after 3 or 4 people coming up to me, I really understood the impact of creating content, whether it's stupid, silly content that I produce basically every day on my Instagram stories, which I'm very aware of it, to actual educational videos, which if you look back all the way to probably 2017 on this YouTube channel, which are extremely cringy for me to watch, there is some nuggets of education in there. And the content that I produce is not for airline pilots. It's really not at all. And in fact, I understand the perception and the point of view from airline pilots. I've flown with people that have seen my content. I talk to people that have seen my content that are in the industry, and I understand, like, it comes off very cringy, but it's not for airline pilots. And some of the educational stuff, you don't care about how to find a flight school or how to finance flying or what ratings and certificates you need, because you guys have, you've done it, and I understand that. So the content that I make is definitely for the younger generation. It's for the youth. It's for people trying to find guidance and don't have the fortunate guidance that I had growing up, which I'm super blessed to have. So to this day, in 2023, the day after Thanksgiving, I've received hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of messages that people have just said thank you. And the impact has been the most fulfilling thing I've ever had in my entire life, creating content. And being an airline pilot is the greatest thing that I could have ever discovered. And I work for my dream airline. I have my dream schedule. Right now, I'll change aircraft, so my schedule will change over time and such, but I fly for exactly who I want to fly for. I do exactly what I want to do. It's the best job in the world, and I genuinely would not trade it for anything. If my company called me today that I work for and said, hey, Garrett, you have to delete all of your social media, although I'd be hesitant in the sense of I really feel like, although through the cringiness and the fashion content and left and all the stuff that I make, those little nuggets of education that helped somebody find their passion, which could be aviation, means everything to me. And so yes, I would delete all of my social media if it came to it, because I really do have a passion and a love for aviation, and I have my dream job and I work for my dream company, and I have everything in the world I could ever ask for. But there's a book that I read not too long ago. It's called Ikigai. And there's 4 things that come up to this Japanese word right here. It's what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you are good at. And I think like this is very fitting, because being an influencer in this industry is exactly my Ikigai, because I get to fly airplanes for a living for my dream company. So it's doing what I love, which is flying airplanes, creating content, and talking about it to some of you and being able to help you. Like, there's nothing more fulfilling in the world. I get to fly airplanes, coolest thing in the world, and then I get to help others. It's insane. What the world needs, yeah, some of those people do need pathways and those educational nuggets. That is a rare commodity in my content. I understand that. But I think that the world does need some of that. Some people do need those educational nuggets, because it helps them find that flight school. That helps them get to the dream airline. It helps them get out of their country and find a flight school in Florida, which is so many people that I've talked to that were down, even in Indonesia, or I remember I had a student from Madagascar, which I was like, I don't even know where Madagascar is. I thought that was a fictional country at the time, like, because of the movie. It's crazy, but it's what the world needs, is those educational nuggets. And I think being paid for it is just another amazing, beautiful thing, because yes, I get paid handsomely to be an airline pilot. It's the greatest job in the world, it really is. But then I get to create stuff like this and also be paid for it, which is a great, just another tick to the ikigai that makes creating content and being an airline pilot and making educational videos is another beautiful thing. And what I'm good at. Yeah, this video is we're 10 minutes in and it's a raw, uncut video. I feel like sometimes I'm good at talking in front of the camera and sometimes I feel like I'm not. But for the most part, I don't know, I would give myself like a B minus. So I think that's above average, right? So I feel like that's something that I'm good at as one of my pros is creating content and talking in front of a video, talking on a podcast. And so this is my ikigai, and this is truly what I love to do. I'll link this book down in the description down below. I think it's probably, I don't know, like $10 or something on Amazon. And if one of you guys can't buy the book, I'll either buy it for you on Amazon and send it to you, or I'll send you this copy. Just DM me on Instagram, and if I see it and you guys really want it and you can't maybe get it because of the holidays right now, and I understand that, I'll be more than happy to get one for you guys and send it to you. So yeah, that's my ikigai, and that's why I do what I do, and I love what I do, and I understand it's perceived in a negative spotlight in this industry because it is a very, very, very traditional industry, and I understand that and I respect that, and I understand where people have been and what they've been through in this industry, and it is a very traditional one. And the reason why I wear this uniform right here, these are my CFI epaulets. Why? It's because it's not the company's epaulets that I work for, and I don't want to jeopardize that. We do have social media policies in place at the company that I work for, and I will respect those. And I have to respect those because I wouldn't trade anything for the job that I have. It's honestly the best company in the world to work for, and I'm super fortunate for that, and I would not jeopardize any of that. And the company's never called me and said, hey Garrett, you need to stop doing this or that. Never. I do hear people at the company and other companies say, hey, we really don't like the content that this guy's making. I understand that because of the traditional background that the majority of the airlines come from. I have to respect that and I respect my peers. I really do, because these are the people that I get in the flight deck with, and I be as professional and perform my job at the best of my abilities every single day. And I don't film up in the flight deck. I don't do any of that, because when I go to work, it's work. I'm an airline pilot, and that's the only hat that I wear when I'm on that aircraft, and I would not jeopardize that for anything in the world. So creating the content at home, I know for most people in the industry, wearing a uniform in your apartment looks very stupid, especially a replica uniform, but it adds some validity for a lot of people that maybe are watching this video, that are the younger generation who are in high school, that, oh, this guy's wearing a uniform, he must know what he's talking about. And that's not exactly what I'm going for, but it does add validity. Just like if you are well dressed and you have a nice suit on, you go into a business meeting versus wearing sweatpants going into a boardroom meeting. There's definitely the way that you're perceived is the way that people are going to perceive the things that you say. So that's why I wear this, and that's why I'll continue to wear this. And I know, I love when my friends make fun of me for wearing, you're not a captain. I see that comment all the time too. You're not a captain. Well, if you guys want to send me fake FO, 3-striped epaulets, go for it. I'm not going to go out of my way because it doesn't bother me. I just know it bothers other people. So that's why I wear this uniform. And we are 14 minutes into this, and I've been blobbing and blabbing a lot, but I think the overall consensus for me of wanting to produce this video is because I have steered away from my at the regional I used to work for, I used to create a lot of content in the flight deck. In the sense of like sitting at the gate, like loading the FMS, or like how to, do this or that. I would never expose SOPs, standard operating procedures, or anything like that. But showing the FMS or showing the flight deck is, you can get on Microsoft Flight Simulator and see all this information, or see how to taxi out, or any, so on and so forth. So you can see all that, the flight plans on FlightAware, but I just wanted to make an overall video so you guys can see where I'm coming from and the content that I'll continue to make, which are these educational videos on my Instagram videos, on my Instagram and YouTube videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's long, probably 3 people are still watching this, but yeah, leave a comment down below if you guys have an opinion on all this. Everyone always has opinions, so drop it down below, and I'll see you in the next video. It'll be an aviation one, I promise. Peace.